Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth, and hopefully you enjoyed our trip to Minnesota. I know it was virtual, but we went through significant places in our lives, and today is no different. Today, right behind us, is the church that we first worked at, right out of college, fresh. I mean, I was 21 years old.
We were babies.
Yeah.
I don't know that they should have hired us.
Probably
but they
not.
Did.
Probably
they
not.
Did. It was a step of faith for them and us. This is Access Church, and we were in North Branch, Minnesota, which is about 45 minutes north of the Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
And this was home to us for 9 years that we worked here. We got hired right out of school, like you said. I became the youth pastor because I had interned here, and they hired me. And Nabil kind of came, and he had a heart to be a youth pastor. That's what he went to college for. But there wasn't a position open. I had taken it, and what happened?
There was already a great youth pastor there, right? And so, so I really went to the Lord and said, God, I thought that that's what you had for me. And then now my awesome soon-to-be wife is the youth pastor now. And I was like, what should I do? And so the opportunity came up, and the lead pastor comes to me and says, hey, I would love to hire you as our kids pastor. And I remember looking at Sarah, and I'm like, I've never thought of kids ministry, never have. But I went to the Lord and said, God, is this what you have for me? And I remember specifically God saying, I've called you not to be a youth pastor, the title of youth pastor. I've called you to serve me. And that played a significant role and really transformed my outlook on serving the Lord.
And that really happened for both of us. We worked here for 9 years, and during that time, we had opportunities to switch which roles that we were in. I went from being the youth pastor to the executive pastor. Nabil went from being the kids pastor after 7 years to being the discipleship pastor. And I think really what the Lord was teaching us was, again, it's not about titles, it's not about roles, it's really about, are you willing to serve in whatever capacity? And so that's what I want to challenge you with today is, where are you serving the Lord? How are you serving the Lord? There's a really powerful verse that I actually had on the wall of my office here. It was found in Colossians 3:23, and it says,
whatever you do, work at it as though you're working for the Lord and not man. And that is something that, too, that verse means so much to me because, we all have gifts and talents, right? And we can use our gifts and talents to build our own kingdom and to build our own self. But really what God's called us to do is to use what God has entrusted us with to serve one another.
And so we challenge you to consider, if you're a part of a church family and you're not already, get involved, serve. Most churches, I know our church in Shrewsbury, we would be happy to help you find the right spot for you to use your gifts, your talents. But there are so many ways to serve God, and it's really by serving the people around you. That could be in your community, in your neighborhood, at work, looking for ways to honor the Lord. And don't just do it to bless people. Do it as though you're working for God. So do your best and to show your love for the Lord as you serve others. Hey, we want to thank you so much for joining us this past week on our trip to Minnesota. We will be back at church tomorrow on Sunday the 7th. We hope to see you at Shrewsbury Assembly or online. Otherwise, on Monday, we'll see you again for another Daily Dose for spiritual growth.